Hi there, I'm Maddie from ATAR Wizard, and today I'm going to be talking about long-term potentiation as a biological contribution to specific phobia. So this is how long-term potentiation can contribute to the formation of specific phobia. Now I'm going to be doing this with reference to the ATAR Wizard Complete Psychology Unit 3 and 4 notes package, which you can grab via the link in the description. You can also book one-on-one tutoring with me via the link in the description, so I look forward to seeing you there. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get to it. So, long-term potentiation is when neural pathways associated with specific phobia are made more efficient through repeated activation, and this is able to strengthen the relationship between a phobic stimulus and the fear response, making the connection stronger. So when we talk about this increased efficiency through repeated activation, and your teacher might have talked about this in reference to Hebb's law. That's not in the study design, so you don't necessarily need to know it. If you don't worry, but if you do know what that is, that's what I'm talking about here. So this repeated activation is going to increase the strength of the neural pathways, because this strengthens the relationship between the phobic stimulus and the fear response. So when neural pathways are strengthened through long-term potentiation, the activation of the neural pathway occurs in an easier or faster fashion. So it's easier for the neural pathway to be activated. It takes less effort. So the fear response therefore becomes stronger. So the neural pathway associated with the fear response is more easily activated, which causes it to be activated more often, and it increases in strength, increasing the strength of the response and also of this phobia. Now, this is a perpetuating risk factor, meaning that as long as the cycle of consistent activation of the neural pathways continues, the specific phobia is likely to strengthen. So if nothing interrupts this process, if nothing interrupts this cycle of long-term potentiation, then the activation is going to continue to get stronger and the specific phobia is likely to strengthen. In the next area of the study design, we look at that and we look at the psychological interventions to prevent long-term or to sort of intervene with long-term potentiation, and that's things like cognitive behavioural therapy and systematic desensitization. If you're doing end of year exam revision, it's really helpful to make that link between these two things. If you're just studying for SACs, then that's you can cross that bridge when you get to it. Don't worry about it yet. So again, long-term potentiation itself is defined as the long-term strengthening of neural connections, as we spoke about before, contributes to specific phobia because of the phobia gets stronger with more activation of the associated neural pathways. And it's also important to know that long-term depression is the weakening of neural connections over time due to the lack of activation. So long-term depression is the opposite of long-term potentiation. So neural pathways aren't used, they're not activated, and they're pruned as a result of that. So they no longer exist. First of all, it starts by them not being as quick to activate, not being as not activating as quickly. They take more to activate in the brain, and then eventually, if that neural pathway continues to not be used, the brain will get rid of it in the name of efficiency. So that is long-term depression, and it doesn't contribute to specific phobia. It does contribute to like the interventions to specific phobia, which again, next study design area, don't worry about that yet. But yeah, the long-term potentiation is strengthening of neural connections, which means that this phobic response is activated more easily, which is a perpetuating risk factor to specific phobia. Now, that's all we've got for today, but thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, you can grab tutoring for VCE Psychology with me via the link in the description. And you can also grab a copy of these notes via the link in the description. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time. Bye.